Welcome to the next leg of our national tour of the UK, visiting our extensive network of craftsmen, craftspeople. So we're here to see Tim Lukes. Tim moved down to St Ives 25 years ago, life change. He's also a volunteer lifeboat man, so that's something unusual. And his workshop is the Old Life Boathouse. Tim's a silversmith, sort of quite specialised because he does very sort of figurative sculptural pieces of silverware. So he makes our knife handles, which are bronze, and the beasts, so that's very sculptural. And right now we've sort of basically got our most adventurous commission ever, and it's an eagle owl made in solid silver. And in order to make the eagle owl, he had to secure 28 kilos of silver, which is a lot. This eagle owl, which is got a 6-foot wingspan, is going to be the centerpiece of a bar. And the eagle owl, which its feet alone are probably 5 kilos each, is landing on an oak tree, which is also being made by Tim, carved in silver, and hanging from the branches are all the bar tools. So it's actually a bar tool kit. Is being made in a little lifeboat house in St Ives, which is really just perfect for this journey we're on. So we're just going to go and visit Tim and see how he's getting on with the eagle owl. The old lifeboat house, Tim's studio. Right. Tim? You in? There he is. Excellent. Yeah, I'm good. Good to see you.
Yeah, a bit early, but there we go.
Right, Tim. So we're aware of the fact that there's a lot of progress has been made on this project, this Eagle Owl Bar centerpiece.
Yeah.
So we gave you like a hand-drawn design, and then you've built this from that.
There aren't really any shortcuts when doing birds, because the feathers have to be fairly regular, but at the same time irregular. So it's about getting a really nice balance.
Yeah, okay, you had to get a larger printer, for this project. For this job. But I mean, essentially, there is no limit to, if you can break it down like you did with this, I suppose you could build that aeroplane wing.
Yeah,
print it, whatever they do these days. So we're now back in the workshop. You want to sort of talk us through what's next?
Yeah, well, we've done the print. This would have been one single piece, but to cast it we need to cut it down into sections. It's essentially a massive jigsaw which you cut up and then reassemble in silver. I can show you, traditionally.
We'll have a look at that.
This was done probably 15, 18 years ago, before CAD was a thing. I think I did this as a clay model at first.
Do you want to tell us what this is?
This is a life-size pheasant.
Life-size pheasant. And this,
you can see his
carved
head.
All of that.
Yeah, every single feather is carved by hand.
And this is a silicone mould.
Yeah, this same moulding process.
Yeah.
But the difference would have been that you would have made your clay, which was a solid piece of clay, and then you would have put a silicone mould around the outside, and then you would have weighed out a certain amount of wax, which you heat up, melt, and on something this size, you pour it in, you put the two pieces together, and you stand there for 10 minutes.
And that's pretty heavy.
Swirling around, yeah. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get an even thickness of wax throughout the whole mould.
Just by feel
and
experience.
Because after a while you get the hang of it.
So these are the moulds.
Yeah, that's the
silicone moulds, which are the same as what we looked at inside the pheasant there. And ultimately that gets filled up with wax, which then gets melted out in the casting process.
Okay, so there's your wax. So that's still all molten, you can see it. Normally you would have a cover on the top which would give you the same thickness, but I'm just going to hold it.
So we've seen the very dramatic wax injection into the mould.
Yeah, not the usual way of doing it, but
blood transfusion.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the reveal. So no stress. I think you're going to open it up.
I hope it comes out.
Ah, look at that.
God, I reckon it has.
Fantastic.
It's a section of, these are all the vines that are coming up, which the bar tools hang from. That's the cunning plan anyway. So that will go into there, and then you'll pour investment in the top, which is, it, for all intents and purposes, it's like plaster of Paris kinda. And then it goes into a kiln overnight, which melts and vaporizes all the wax back out. So you end up with a hole covered in investment, which then gets molten silver poured into it.
Okay, at this point I introduce Alice Lukes, who's Tim's daughter, who works with Tim. Yeah, you've been working on the owl.
Yeah, I've been helping him out a little bit with that.
Yeah, I think more than a little bit. So we've got now the piece cast. So we saw it going into the oven, and now it's cast as silver. And when it comes out of the cast, it's quite grubby and oxidised.
Yeah, it's got all these kind of oxidised toxins and things like that all around the top.
Put it in a thing called the pickle, which I've always loved, that pickle, because my favourite sandwich is cheese and pickle.
So this will turn it a little bit of a white colour. It won't be silver at this point, because then you have to sandblast it. Yeah, so that's a bit of the tree trunk foot, and then this is a piece of the owl foot as well.
So you're just going to wash it off in a bit of water down there. So
yeah,
there we go. So here we've got some unassembled bits of what I assume is a wing, and the next part is putting the puzzle together.
Yeah, that's it. So this is where it kind of changed to the real traditional silversmithing work, where you know, using hammers and soldering and welding and chasing, you know.
So this magnificent piece of wing here. So this is one that's had basically these elements tacked together, and you can sort of see some of the seams here which are ready to be chased. You can see that this has now got all the detail that you would expect from a feather, and that's done with a hammer and a very, very small tool, a chasing tool. That sort of transforms it, brings it to life, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Really like true to nature.
And of course, when it's polished, this just glitters and it looks fantastic.
Yeah. So, all right, we've seen a lot of wings, and we're going to reveal the single biggest part of this bird so far.
So far, yeah.
There we go. Look at
That's
that.
that's the body.
I love that. Look at that foot. Do you want to hold that up? Because it's absolutely magnificent. Actually, show us, because you've got the tools there.
Yeah, these are some of the little tools.
Yeah.
A completely different scale.
This is one the owl ate earlier.
Yeah, that's a little barn owl.
It's a little barn owl. So what's the barn owl going to be?
It's an ice pick.
Ice pick. We've got the
measure.
The measure, which is an adder. What else we got in here? We've got
hair.
Oh, a hair. Oh, yeah, that's right. Of course, the hair. In the top here is going to be a gem. All the tools are gem set. They're already over the top. This knocks it right out the park.
Yeah.
Obviously, claw, which will be
peeler.
That brings us to, I think, the final part.
Do you want to see the head? There you go.
Come this far.
Printed, as it took the longest thing to finish.
And we've got one eyeball in and one out.
One eyeball out.
They're gems.
Oh.
Yeah, they're citrine and onyx. They're being cut in Germany by someone who just cuts eyeballs.
Lovely. It's a nice job to have.
And then the beak
will
be
onyx in it?
No, it's obsidian.
Okay.
So it will have a life to it, whereas the onyx is just jet black.
Yeah.
And the beak wouldn't be jet black. That is the actual cocktail.
That's the actual cocktail shaker, and the cunning plan is that slots into there.
Fantastic. Look at that.
So he's gonna come off.
And I'll have a martini.
Yeah.
Obviously shaken, not stirred. Fantastic.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
brilliant. Okay.
Fingers crossed.